and welcome to my channel. My name is Angelina and today I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up. So in August I read 12 books and I had a 3.4 out of 5 star average rating, which isn't bad. It's kind of what I'm usually at, so I'm not really shocked by that. As far as what age category I was reading, 5 of the books that I read were adult books, 5 of them were young adult, and 2 were middle grade or children's books. Out of the 12 books that I read, 2 of them were rereads. Something that I'm trying to do more of this year is to reread books, so I reread 2 this month, so that's good. Now let's get right into what books I read this month. The first book that I read in August was Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This was a reread for me. I read this back in middle school and I gave this one 5 stars. This is a YA contemporary story following our main character Lena, who after her mom passes away, she ends up moving to Italy to stay with her dad, who she has never met before, and while she's there, she's dealing with grief, she's dealing with meeting her dad for the first time, she's making friends, and she does end up falling in love. I'm a big fan of this Love and series, and I would highly recommend it if you have not read it yet. Next, I read Bravely by Maggie Stiefvater. I received this as an e-arc through NetGalley, but it has already been released. I gave this book 2 stars. It is a retelling of the Disney movie Brave, and it follows Merida, who her whole kingdom is about to be cursed and she has to save it. I did not enjoy this. I was very bored while reading it. I didn't enjoy the writing, which I kind of figured going in. I haven't liked any of Maggie Stiefvater's other books just because of the writing style. But I was very hopeful going into this one because I love the movie Brave, so I was really hoping for this one to be really good, but it wasn't. And one thing that I love about the movie Brave, and I think a lot of people love about it, is that the main character, Merida, doesn't get into any romantic relationships. And in this retelling, Bravely, she does have a bit of a romantic subplot thrown in. I didn't enjoy that. It was not for me. Next, I reread Love and Luck by Jenna Evans Welch. This is book 2 in the Love and series, and this one I gave 3 stars. It is my least favorite in the series, but it's still a good one. I gave it 3 stars, and this one follows Addie, who is the best friend of Lena from Love and Gelato, and she is going to Ireland with her whole family for her aunt's wedding. And before the start of this book, some things happen in Addie's life that she is keeping a secret, but one of her brothers is aware of what's going on, and so there is some tension between her and her brother. They're getting into fights all the time, and then they end up going on this road trip across to Ireland together. They both have their own secrets to work out between each other. This one deals a lot less with the romantic aspect than Love and Gelato does, so go into this one knowing that this one is mainly focused on sibling relationships, and I would still recommend it if you're looking for a cute YA contemporary set in Ireland. Next, I read Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls, 100 Inspiring Changemakers by Rebel Girls. I gave this one 5 stars. I've loved everything that Rebel Girls have put out, and what they do is they write these short, informative nonfiction books for young children, all about different women throughout history who have made a change or an impact in the world, and it's just very great to see. I always love it. I always learn about new people through these books, and I would highly recommend it, especially if you have young children in your life, but also just for anyone really. They're very fun and informative. This is another one I had an e-arc of through NetGalley. Then I read Dark Waters by Katherine Arden. I gave this one 3 stars, and this is a middle grade horror book. It is the 3rd in the series, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But this one is my least favorite in the series so far. But also, I think it's just my least favorite because this is the only one I've listened to as an audiobook, and I think maybe that's why. But Katherine Arden does such a great job of the horror elements and like the creepy atmosphere, so if you're looking for one of those, definitely check it out. Especially the first 2 books in the series. I love them. They're so creepy. Highly recommend. And then I read The Dating Dare by J.C. Lee. This is an adult romance. I gave this one 3 stars, and it follows our main character Tara and Seth, who meet at their friend's wedding, and they end up playing a game of truth or dare with each other, and they are now dared to go on 4 dates with each other without falling in love. The whole concept is super fun because these characters are dared to go on dates with each other but to not fall in love. They kind of keep each other at arm's length and don't really get to know each other, so there was never a point where I felt like I knew each of these characters and that I wanted them to be together. So yeah, but it was still fun, it was still cute, and I'd still recommend it if you're looking for a cute little romance. And then I read What We Harvest by Anne Freystadt. This I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. This is a YA apocalyptic horror book following our main character Ren, whose family works on this farm, and there is this disease going around that's infecting the plants and the animals, and it has now started to infect humans as well, and she is trying to save her farm and the special crops that they have. If you like apocalyptic books, body horror, just like really creepy atmospheric books, definitely give this one a try. I really love those elements. I love the plot twist in the writing, and I'm really shocked that this is a debut, but I can't wait to see what this author puts out next. And then I read I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I gave this one 5 stars. If you're on the bookish internet, you've probably heard of this one. This is Jeanette McCurdy's memoir about her childhood experience and growing up in a very toxic environment. There are many trigger warnings for this book, so definitely check those out before going into it, but this was fantastic. I'm sure you've heard so many people talk about it, so I won't get into it, but I would definitely check this one out. It's a must-read. And then I read The Dragon's Bride by Katie Roberts. I gave this one 2 stars. This is an adult romance, and it follows our main character, Briar, who makes a deal with a demon and ends up getting auctioned off to a dragon. His name is Soul, and it's a very short book, but it's their romance. I didn't like their romance. I never once cared about them being together. It wasn't for me. But I was interested in some of the other characters who were also at the auction, so I am kind of interested in checking out some of the other books in the series, but yeah, this one just didn't work for me. And for my biggest disappointment so far this year, I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I loved both of Casey McQuiston's adult romances. I ended up giving this one 2 stars. This is Casey McQuiston's first YA book. This one is like a contemporary mystery. So I know that many people have been enjoying this, and I'm definitely like on the outside of this one. And that's mainly because I just hated like every single trope that was in this book. First of all, school settings aren't my thing. And when I had learned about this book and I saw that it was a school setting, I kind of was like, it's Casey McQuiston. They can change it up and make me enjoy it. They did not. This does have the academic rivals to lovers trope, which I don't think this book did a good job with it at all, especially because Shara, one of the participants in this academic rival situation, isn't even present till like the last 25% of this book. So it's hard to even say that it's academic rivals to lovers. There's also sort of a love square in here, which was annoying. I did not like a single character in this book. They were all toxic and like problematic, and I suppose in some aspects all these characters sort of get redeemed, but I think they get redeemed a little too fast. For being a YA book, I feel like there should have been more of a conversation about why these things are bad, instead of, oh, none of the characters care that this was bad, so it's okay, sort of thing, if that makes sense. I was never rooting for them to get together, and the whole mystery aspect of this book also was lacking for me, just because there was heavy foreshadowing for everything that happened in here. This one, not my thing. Biggest disappointment so far this year. Then I read The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I gave this one 3 stars. It is another adult romance. So this book follows Addie and Dylan, and they are exes, and they get themselves into the situation where they have to travel together to their friend's wedding, and they haven't spoken in like a year, and they're stuck in this tiny little car with 3 other people. It's super awkward, super messy, and lots of things happen. This book is also told in dual timelines, so you have the present timeline in which they're stuck in this car on this road trip, and then you have the before timeline in which you see them meeting and actually being together. This book was really messy. The characters were kind of toxic, kind of messy. Everything about this book was messy, but in like a very like fun, enjoyable way. I did give it 3 stars. I don't know if anything in this book is really excusable. I don't know if I really wanted these 2 characters to end up together, but it was just so messy that it was kind of just fun for me at the end. So yeah, I gave this one 3 stars. I don't know if I really recommend it. And the last book that I read in August was Duke Most Wicked by Lenora Bell. I did receive this one as an e-arc from NetGalley as well, so thank you to them. But this is my first Lenora Bell. I gave it 3 stars. This book is a historical romance following Brandon, who is the Duke, and he ends up hiring Viola to be the music teacher for his younger sisters. He is, as the title implies, very wicked, and Viola is more of a spinster, as she is employed to him. It's kind of a forbidden romance sort of thing. Viola is also taking care of her father, who is a famous composer, and she herself is composing music under a pen name. The whole plot of this was very fun. I really enjoyed my time reading it. It just kind of didn't stick out to me that much, and the pacing itself was kind of wonky, but I did really like Lenora Bell's writing style, so I'm excited to check out more of this author's other works. I'll probably start with the other books in the series, but yeah, I gave it 3 stars. It was enjoyable. It was fun. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment of whatever you feel like, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!